Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is the year in review reading for water signs. That's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This card, this starts off with just a. We're going to review the year 2017. We're going to have the energy for the year. Um, some things of value, something to take with you from 2017 to 2018, and then some things to work on letting go. So, with that said, I will get started. So the energy for water signs in 2017 comes up here in the Ten of Cups, and so the Ten of Cups is a card of fulfillment, of living happily ever after, of satisfaction, peace. Your your dreams have finally taken root in your reality. Now, if that doesn't particularly resonate for you, um, what's coming up here is this is more of a perception thing than an actual experience. So, those feelings I mentioned, you're satisfied, you're at peace. And I think this came up in another spread as well, but in a different form. But this is mostly, this feels like this was a year for water signs to learn that what they always considered fulfilling, maybe that wasn't it, but now you get to go and you have to go and do your soul searching. You have to clear your mind and find your peace, and you have to learn what really brings you that fulfillment. So this was a great year. 2017 was really a great year for laying the groundwork for that work, learning how to find what satisfies you with no blueprint, because this is all you. It's all intuitive. So for some of you water signs who really got your intuition honed this year, um, I would bet it had many gems for you. For the water signs who were very unfamiliar with their intuition, this year could have been a bit more challenging, but it was always, there's a lesson in everything. Especially the bad experiences, and ultimately, regardless of whether you see it this way or not, you did come out of 2017 a far better person than you went into it. You may feel like an unfinished product right now, but you are right where you need to be. So don't forget that. With that said, let's move into the areas. Move into the things that we should that water signs should take into 2018. First one that comes up is the Six of Coins. The Six of Coins is balance, 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 physical harmony, um, making sure in terms of your energy, what's coming in is equal to what's going out. So if you sought out to establish balance in your life, this is something you want to continue doing. You want to keep that discipline about it, because you already know the damaging effects from living out of balance, out of harmony. Your water signs, your water gets polluted very easily. So if you're not cleaning yourself up, if you're not filtering the garbage out, and if you're just taking trash in, it gets to be a problem. So balance here. Balance is something you want to keep this energy with you in 2018. So don't overspend, don't overdo things. Just make efforts to live your life in greater harmony. It feels like there will be opportunities to do that. To, if you invest in really restoring yourself and keeping yourself whole before you give of yourself, there's going to be a reward in that. So what else comes up for the areas of strength? The Ten of Swords, and this is presenting yourself as just accepting when what's done is done, accepting the end for what it is, not not trying to resurrect things once they've died. It feels like for some water signs, this is presenting itself as a strength. For others, it's presenting itself as an area to work on. So if you feel your move on game really isn't as strong as it should be, this is something you especially want to work on, because everything that's coming up here, it's going to matter in the year ahead. There's a need to accept things for what they are, so you can move on. The movement is key. Moving forward is key. And with that, we go to the Five of Coins reverse. Um, so it feels like for a lot of water signs, in many ways, you've been out there, you've experienced that dark night of the soul, and you've felt like you've just been out in the cold as long as you could possibly stand without freezing to death, and now you're coming back in, and it's those times are ending. Those times of I have nothing. Those times of lack. Those times of just feeling frozen out and stuck and powerless. They're ending. So bring that energy into 2018. Bring that acceptance. Bring that sense of being accustomed to the bad things going away. Because as long as you let them leave, they will leave. The troubling times are gone. A lot of swords really come up here for water signs, and it feels like a lot of you have been kind of like stymieing your intuition by becoming overly logical, and that really wasn't a match, and it's really brought you guys some disharmony. And that's coming up in the Ten of Swords, um, and the Eight of Swords. Really, this entire spread to work on here. It all starts within the mind. Because what's standing out most is justice, and justice is the message that's coming with justice is you need to learn how to have faith in your efforts, and you need to learn how to trust your intuition, trust your work, trust what you put in. Don't doubt that you will manifest less. Don't doubt that anything will be less than what you seek, because what you contributed was flawed. Leave that mindset alone. And it's manifesting in the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Swords. But first, the Queen of Swords is, connected to this message from Justice. You need to stop putting shit in your own way. Stop putting up barriers to your own success. You're water. You're very intuitive. You pick up on things effortlessly. Learn how to trust that and cut through the bullshit and do what you need to do. Your thoughts are energy. When you're living in your thoughts and you're not doing anything to manifest it, it's stagnant energy. So what's also coming up here is the Eight of Swords. And again, something else to work on. This is surrender. And again, it also ties back to justice because you need to learn again to accept that your efforts are valid, accept that your work has value. And when you really reach a point where there's just nothing to do, when you feel like there's nothing to do, have some faith. Learn when to surrender. Don't fight everything. Don't fight everything, and don't tie yourself down into an impasse because you don't like what you see. Have some faith that things will clear up for you. Alright, so with that said, that's the message for 2017. Let's see what 2018 has for water signs. And again, this is, as always, this is for sun, moon, and rising. Take what resonates, just leave behind whatever doesn't. So for 2018, the overall energy for the year is strength reversed. Honestly, I'm getting feelings that this is really about perception. For water signs, your perception will be an issue this year. Eight of Swords reversed. Ten of Swords reversed. Ace of Coins. Okay, so the overall energy for 2018 is presenting itself for water signs is strength reversed. And so this is really, again, this is a card about perception. An issue, and I feel it's an issue, is, again, because you're water signs, because you're water, because you're so prone to picking up whatever trash is around you, whatever's around you. Um, it feels like the thing to really work on here is learning when to freeze other people's energy out. To learn when to detox. To learn when to pull yourself away from people who speak negative energy around you. So get out of the habit of complaining all the time. Don't be around people who complain all the time. Because people who keep something to complain about always end up with something to complain about. So that's not a cycle you want to manifest. Not at all. This is a new year. This is a new chance for you to do big things. But it really starts with you freezing out the things that don't matter and focusing on what does, which is the need to realize that your influence, your desire, your work, you are valid simply for being, simply from being. You don't need to do anything to validate yourself. You don't need to do anything to validate your thoughts or your influence. You don't you don't need to question the gift you have. Don't doubt your influence. It's showing itself. It's showing all around you. So don't doubt it. Let it shine. Usually these are areas. Usually when I do this reading, these come up as areas of strength for the year 2018. But instead, what's coming up here really is of more of a story, more of like a little spread on its own. What's coming up here is, this your way of thinking, what's inhibiting you from embracing your strength, your power, your influence. It's time to surrender it, because the Eight of Swords reversed is the Eight of Swords is surrender. It's dead. Let it die. So the fact that these cards are coming up, these are coming up reversed. Strength is coming up reversed. These are connected, but the story here is pretty simple. Once you surrender this old way of thinking, once you surrender limitations, this is going to be a very good year for you. Get rid of your limiting thought. Surrender that. Eight of Swords. It's dead. Let it die. Let it let it wither away as dead things do. Ten of Swords. So what's also coming up here is, like, once you do this work, really commit to this work, because we have the Ace of Coins here, and this presents itself. It's kind of like your reward for a job well done, and it feels like this is going to come through. Coins, Pentacles, typically Earth energy, and Earth moves typically very slowly, but it feels like this is going to come through very fast. It feels like you let go of this way of thinking, and something, and then the opportunity. Again, it's Pentacles. It's most likely money. It's whatever physical experience of value to you, and this is going to come up so fast that you're not going to have time for anything, for doubt, worry, anything to set in. So really want to kick this year off by surrender. So sorry, there's water signs. This is usually an area of strength. This is usually like a space where you can be expected to kick ass, and instead I kind of just gave you guys more work to do. Sorry. Um, but yeah, the Ace of Coins. This is, again, once you resolve this, once you really get in touch with your strength and you remove limitations from your thinking and doing, um, you're going to manifest very quickly. And it's going to happen very easily too, because you've cleared out that last barrier that keeps you from, going outside and $1,000 falls on your head. Like, you finally gotten rid of that last blockage. So be ready to let that go. So what's also coming up here, and just in areas to work on. Um, this is mostly like a very intuitive set. What's really coming up is water signs really need to work on protecting their energy, because everything that's coming up in this set on the bottom, everything is coming up about areas you need to work on this year. It's all about perception. You have the Five of Staffs reversed, and you really can't be afraid to shake the table. You're worried about conflict, and you're really not worrying for it's for no reason. You need to sometimes you just gotta shake the table. So do that. And then you have the Tower reversed, and that's again this is resisting needed endings. Um, if a building's crumbling around you, you're not supposed to try and put the bricks back up. You're supposed to get out of there. So that's something to again that is something to watch out for and to work on. Learn to let things go, especially things that have proven they don't deserve you. And then we have the Four of Cups, and this is again perception. This is about limiting your perspective. So stop. Again, remove limitations. You want to get yourself into a space where you're living without limitation, where you're not thinking on limits. Because what comes up here in the Four of Cups is a blessing will present itself to you, but it comes up in because it presents itself in a way you're not used to, a way you're not comfortable with. You shy away from it, and that was yours. That was for you. All you had to do was step up and claim it, and instead you didn't do that. You hurt yourself. So overall, just like a little bit of channel information that's coming up, really for water signs is again, we have to keep our energy clean. We can't let what other people think and feel uh, affect what needs to be done. That's the biggest thing here. So learn to put things out. Whenever it comes up, whenever it doesn't feel right, just put it out. Okay, so that's the year in review reading for water signs. That's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And if anyone would like a reading, if anyone has any more questions, comments, concerns, my information is below. For you to check everything out. Um, that's all for now. See you later. Be well.